and Fred Warner with an ankle. Go ahead.
Kyle, any early indication on severity of Fred's injury?
No, I think it's similar to what he did earlier in the year when he had one, but we're not sure yet.
So more tests tomorrow?
Yeah, I mean, he's got a chance, so.
What are your emotions? What are the emotions in there right now after that one?
I mean, the guys were excited. Still trying to figure out where I'm at. It was pretty emotional out there. Lots of opportunities. I thought we had to win the game. I felt like we did on a number of times, but those guys just kept fighting. We had a couple mistakes there at the end that shouldn't have let it get there. But just the guys that come out and finish that game, especially in that environment, was a hell of a win by the guys.
You played that last 8:36 without Nick and without Fred. What does that say about your defense that you were able to kind of hold it together?
I think it says so much about our guys all year. Like just to lose two of our best players, our captains, and be able to protect a lead like that too. I mean, when you're missing your middle linebacker and you're missing our best pass rusher, it just the guys stepping it up in their place, and I think you guys have been seeing guys do that these last couple months too, and just how much all guys who haven't been playing just have been fighting these last couple months to get back and to get healthy enough to play against the Rams, and then this week to play in the playoffs. Couldn't have done it without those guys.
And some of the blitzes that D'Amico called to kind of make up for that all seemed to hit there down the stretch. Have you really witnessed him evolve and grow as a defensive coordinator here in his first year?
Yeah, D'Amico's been unbelievable all year. If you do anything consistently versus Dak and their skill set and their schemes, they'll get after you. And I thought D'Amico did just a perfect job today of mixing it up, and then calling that zero at the end on that fourth down was real cool too.
Jimmy Garoppolo was real efficient in the first half, not as efficient in the second half. What changed? What did you see from him?
Just a long game, and I thought he played real good in the first half, and I thought he made some real good plays in the second half too. But obviously that pick he'd like to have back, and that one missed third down, missed the throw on.
Is that kind of the idea with the blitz there at the end to kind of force Dak's hand and see if he will run it?
The blitz?
Yeah.
No, that was just part of calling a game. I thought we had a good third down package where we were bluffing a lot throughout the game, mixing it up, sometimes going out of there and sometimes blitzing, and you just want to keep them guessing until the snap, and it's always a gutsy call when you go all out in that situation, but it was the right call.
Were you expecting that the officials to call the game at that point? Did you see the clock expire, or were you expecting one more play?
No, I thought it was over because I saw it live. So I was very confident it was done. I was just nervous that sometimes when you're real confident, you think you see it right, sometimes it changes. So you're never fully sure until they let you know.
You had a lot of games
set up by the fake field goal that got them, or I'm sorry, fake punt got them the field goal, and the interception, the short touchdown drive. They really didn't do anything at all against your defense. Given the opponent and the stakes, is that as good a defensive performance as you had this year?
I don't know. I think we've had a number of good ones. But, those guys getting that turnover by K1 was so big. Going 3 and out to start the game, then the roughing the punter and going 3 and out right away again, and doing against that type of offense, it's got to be up there. But I'll let you decide that.
Kyle, you had a lot of games this year, close games like this that went the other way, particularly early in the season. Putting 2 in a row together like this when it matters the most, what has your team shown you, particularly over the last 2 weeks?
That's the cool thing about football. It's never a 7-game series, so there's lots of ways to win one game, and I think that's why people enjoy watching football. It's one game, and there's so many different ways to win it. I like to think that we have a team built to do it. You do that through experience, and I think we won a number of different ways this year, and I'd like to finish people out better there at the end. I don't think we should have gave the ball back to them, which we definitely should not have with that mess up on 4th and 1. But I'm just proud of the guys that even when you did hit some bad adversity, that they found a way to still win, and gives us a chance to keep trying to get better.
What happened was the fourth down when Trent Williams swung around to the other side?
Yeah, we just shifted to an unbalanced, and it was on the silent count, and it was quarterback sneak all the way, but Jimmy got real excited because of the look and didn't let Trent get set. He's got to let him get set. It ended up not being a problem, though. I was going to struggle answering that, though, if we lost. But, yeah, Jimmy's got to let him get set. Trent, it didn't look to me like he false started. He just didn't get in his stance yet.
On the fake punt, it seemed like you guys had the right guy, the cornerback there. What happened on the play? Had you kind of expected that? Is that why?
Yeah, we left our defense out there, our safe defense. It just we should have been better on that. He made a good throw, and obviously it was a gutsy call, but something I thought we were ready for because we kept our defense out there. But the guy ran a good route, and he made the throw.
You talked about how you guys have just been finding different ways to win this year, but I feel like the one constant is you guys play with a level of aggression and physicality you really don't see, and even more so than 2019. Where does that come from?
I think we got guys who really like football. I think we got guys who like to practice. I think we got guys who like to play. We try to look at it as you don't try to get more up for games. You're up as much as you can for every game. There's only one way to play, and you try to talk that way a lot as a coach. You try to emphasize the guys who do that, but it's all just talk until you got the right people. And we got a bunch of guys in there who I love coaching because it's not hard to get them to play, and it's very fun to coach them.
You mentioned earlier this week how much the rivalry meant to you as a kid. Did you tap into that at all this week with your team? And if so, does this mean anything extra to you to beat the Cowboys?
I tapped into it with our team a little bit just to kind of show them and also to pump them up. I really enjoyed Friday just showing them. I remember Thursday night I was at my house and I wasn't sleeping, so I just want to watch the '94 game. Mike Bracken got it on our coach's copy for us, so it was real cool just to watch that and watch the one-on-ones by Michael Irvin and Dion. And I remember being on the sidelines there. I was always trying to find myself, but the HD wasn't good enough for me to find it. But I ended up showing some of the guys Friday, and it's just kind of cool because you think back to those days and those are my heroes, and they became my heroes by watching those games like most people from our generation. I just tried to remind our guys that, Dion and Michael, they were 25 then. They're just like you guys, and showing them plays of Ricky Waters and these guys become everyone heroes because of what you do in the playoffs, not what you do in the season. And I don't think our guys totally know the rivalry. They got an idea now, but they knew the moment and they were ready for it. And it was a tough game, and give a lot of credit to Dallas. It's a real good team. I'm real proud of our guys.
Is it like just Trent Williams? He's had this incredible, probably Hall of Fame career, and this is his third playoff game, first win. I mean, obviously you had to sell him on, coming here. What was it like to be able to sort of prove that to him and just, get him that first win in his career?
I was so happy for Trent. I don't think people realize how much Trent enjoys playing football. Anytime you got guys that talented, which he is as talented as anyone to me on the planet, they can show up and do better than most people. But what separates Trent is he enjoys it. I mean, he tries to get after people. He loves playing. When he practices only one way. And I know how upset he was last week. It meant a lot to him to get to the playoffs and for us to give him that chance. And you should have seen him practicing all week. He was ready. And that was tough last year. I knew one of the reasons he wanted to come here was to try to contend. And we didn't have that team last year. And just really happy for him and everyone else in there that they're getting a little taste of this.
Kyle, the biggest play again came from Deebo. Can you just say what you saw in that on his?
What's that?
The biggest play again came from Deebo. Can you say what you saw on that touchdown?
The run. Yeah. It was unbelievable. It's not at all where we thought the play would go, where it's designed to go. But when you got a guy out there who's just running and is very tough, has got the skill set, and he sees the field very well. Usually he goes outside. He stopped, reversed the field, and if he gets a lane, he's running through everyone's arm tackles. And Deebo's been a stud all year, as everyone knows. And right before he went out there, he just mouthed something to me, which I kind of guessed it was, "Give me the ball." And he was. When I look at him talking that way, it's extremely motivating, and he makes it a lot easier to call plays.
Is it meant to go outside?
It is usually meant to go outside. It's never meant to go back the opposite part of the field. You're blocking down and getting around, but they overplayed it a little bit, and Deebo made him pay.
What are your initial thoughts on going to Green Bay and 4 months after you had the home opener?
Not much. I'm sure I'll be thinking about it a lot here on the plane. But, man, they've had a hell of a year. I'm glad we get an opportunity to go up against them again. They've been unbelievable. And so we'll rest up here, and I don't know whether we're playing them Saturday or Sunday yet. But we'll enjoy this plane ride, and we'll get back to work there right when we land.
All right.